So what happens when we could do that, but I'm trying to think, this was over here before, we were shooting it at this angle on that side of it, so I think I need to go like this, but you can't really, because you still got to be right here with it. Okay, yeah, no, that works. Can we get a secondary light? How do you do this? Go bam. Okay. Okay, we got some waters. Can we turn the lights off in here and just make it like a dim affair? Is that possible? I don't think so. No. Okay. Because one day it'd be nice to. Hey guys, I'm just setting up. Give me a minute. Hey Michael. Hey Millie. Hey Alicia. Hey Kix. Hey Senor. So what happens hypothetically? Is this worth making room for in the back? Because I can lower the size of that thing. It really doesn't do much. No. Utterly useless. Okay. We'll figure that out at a later date. What fragrance is missing? So I'll turn the lights back on, guys. Sorry. Oh, and I have lights. What am I smoking on? Oh. Yes, okay. Okay. See, that would have changed a lot. And then what the heck, what fragrance is missing from my... And then there's a fragrance missing from back here. Okay, so there's a fragrance in my car console. Hey guys, we're just letting everybody fill up right now. Please show your patience. I'm gonna grab a beverage real quick, have your questions ready, and then of course YouTube floods 45 people in here. I will be back in 10 seconds. Give me your questions, guys. Scent of the days. I'm gonna go get my scent of the day out of the console of my car. Be right back. All right, let's get cracking, guys. I'm here. I'm ready. YouTube can penalize me all they want for not being at my camera 24/7. I got stuff I got to do. Scent of the day, Mont Blanc Presence. Don't ask me why. I just love the smell. Okay, let's see if we can answer anything. Did my shout outs need to ask? Do you ever wear some type of scent at night in bed? No. No. I just there's been a very rare occasions where I will fall asleep and forget to shower, because it's not, I wouldn't say I forget to shower. I might go to sleep with a fragrance because the day was just so crazy. I don't even have the strength to go into the shower. And it was kind of cool to go to sleep with a fragrance. I mean, that's not even the right thing. I've accidentally gone to sleep with a fragrance before, and it's okay, but it's not all that. I mean, it's a fleeting joy because it turns to funk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it either becomes less of what you started with, and then it slowly dissipates, and then if you have another fragrance you go to bed with, I don't know, it's just not my thing. I like being super clean when I go to sleep. I shower, I get my skin and everything super clean, and I have silk sheets and cold air on my face, and I get into a deep sleep. I have like not an EMF. I have a grounding blanket embedded into my silk sheets, so it takes off. How do I say this? It removes it's a grounding blanket, right? So it helps with inflammation and all this. Anyway, long story short, when you have a grounding blanket, you fall asleep immediately. So I'm not even thinking about scent, dude. Like, even if I had a scent on, I would enjoy it for like 4 seconds. Like, when I hit my bed, between my silk sheets, my grounding blanket, and all that, as soon as I hit this, boom, I'm gone. My pillow's insane. Like, I don't sleep on like a traditional pillow, right? Like, my pillow is like 3 inches thick, and it's essentially just like it's almost like memory foam, but a little bit less stiff, and it's just big enough to where when I lay on it, it gets me even. So I'm essentially sleeping flat with a little bit of, you know. Dude, my sleep game is serious. There's no time for fragrance in my sleep game. I hit that bed, I'm out. Like, my day is too tough. I don't sit around. I don't lay in bed and watch TV. There's no room for that. My day is too busy. I bought 9 fragrances the other day. Can you rate what I got? No. But I'm happy for you. Scent of the day, the Taliaferro factory. I used to have a stepdad, and his last name was Taliaferro. That's like a slave name. You know that, right? Does petroleum jelly or unscented lotion help with enhancing the smell? It can, but it's not a general rule of thumb. What is the best way without a decanter? Say that again. Ask that question differently. You're trying to get a 3-for-1 special and you're not speaking English. I almost just knocked down fragrances. Scent of the day, Rafakat. Beautiful. Alicia, fresh, amazing. You wouldn't like it. He said, don't worry, it's fresh. You'd hate it. Kicks. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I have a fragrance I think Alicia would like. And phonetic it out if it's pronounced Alicia, because I've heard some people say Alicia. I don't have like musty or animalic or Middle Eastern. I don't have any crazy ouds. I know you like Mahir Legacy Black. I know you like that. But that's probably bottom tier for you, to be honest. Have you tried Diaghilev, Alicia? Pegasus, Elixir, Lamal Elixir, Elysium, Diorum, Jazz Club, Bad Boy Extreme, Angel Share, and a random Latafa. That's an interesting cart. That's what I got the other day, thoughts. I mean, they're all good. I don't know. We'll just leave it at they're all good. And what now? So I need a grounding blanket. Okay, interesting. Well, the thing about a grounding blanket, Alicia, is if you know anything about a grounding blanket, then you know about grounding, right? And my dude, guys, listen, I know my wife's correct in this, but so here's one of my paintings, right? Um, this is a highlight of my art walk, right? Is this painting. So look at it up close. And this is, you guys are face to face with the painting, and you could see like how intense it is. It's watercolor. So for how intense this looks, it's watercolor. It took a lot of paint to get this, but as you zoom out, you see the realism starts to come to life, right? Now, listen, I fully understand. And by the way, that painting is mine as well. I do some surrealism, but you know, my wife was giving me crap because she came to me the other day and she was like, babe, listen, I know you're proud of that art piece and you know it's special to you, but like, do you really think your viewers enjoy looking at a laundry basket? And I was like, I don't care if they enjoy it. It's my artwork. I worked hard on that. The fact that I got that sock looking as realistic as I did, and mind you, what makes this painting special to me is, number one, it's watercolor and it looks like acrylic or something. It took many months to get that to look like that. But number two, it's the first watercolor I ever attempted. Watercolor, now, there's a lot to be said about why it looks as good as it looks on my first attempt at watercolor, because unlike a lot of other people, I actually spent some training learning about how watercolor works. And I was previously a mixed media artist, so I had painted with acrylics and oils. I was a painter. But the first time ever working with watercolor as a material, I did this painting, which is pretty spectacular. So I was trying to explain to her, I don't have that picture up in my office for my subscribers. That's for me. I can't help that I made that. But it was just funny. She's like, don't you want to take it down so that your subscribers don't have to look at a laundry basket all night? I'm like, they're not looking at the laundry basket. They're looking at the fragrances. I'm not going to take my art down off my wall. It was just funny. I'm wearing Balance by Jack Henry. Okay. I don't want no fresh. Alicia, that's false. I really don't believe that. I don't believe that you don't like fresh. You know, you can like dark, you can like oudi, you can like incensey, you can like Finkel, you can like animalics, but there's no way you don't like fresh. Fragrance, by definition, I don't think there's a single fragrance without freshness. To what degree of freshness it is, you know, that's up for debate. But I don't think any perfumer goes into a perfume trying to make something the opposite of fresh, even if they're trying to make it dark or stinky or funky or whatever. There's no way you don't like fresh. Maybe you don't like citrus and you don't like aquatic and all that, but the attribute of a fragrance being fresh, I don't think, there's no way. I'm sorry. I mean, even Mahir Legacy Black is fresh. It's dark, it's incensey, it's musty, but it's still fresh. Is that whiskey? No, dude. We don't need whiskey at 10 o'clock at night. Rasasi Hawass or Afnan Collector's Edition. Two completely different fragrances. Rasasi Hawass is everyday, versatile wear, casual and slightly upscale casual, mostly just a casual, everyday Swiss Army knife of a fragrance. It's a light blue fragrance, I would call it. I would classify it. To me, it's the same as Invictus Aqua. It's the same as Versace Pour Homme. It's the same as Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. It's the same as Nautica Voyage. And Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition is essentially some hybrid of Aventus and Hasselblad. So that fragrance is a woody, smoky, pineapple, oak moss fragrance, which I typically associate with formal, semi-formal, and business professional. or upscale date night. So two completely different fragrances. There's no comparison. Thoughts on Lattafa Ram Silver? It's obviously a Ultra Mall. Pretty sure Ultra Mall. It's a solid Ultra Mall alternative. It's better than 9 p.m. in that it's closer to actual Ultra Mall, but it's not better than 9 p.m. as a fragrance, not as a is this fragrance close type of vibe. So you'll get more performance, you'll get a louder projection, you'll get a slightly better fragrance, but Ram Silver is true to the Ultra Mall DNA. It is soft, it is nice. You will get a decent amount of longevity, and it is like $5 cheaper. So both are okay. Mahir Legacy Black slaps, of course. Have you ever used 9 a.m. Dive? I don't use it, no. Diaghilev is like Amouage Jubilation Woman. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a response to what I'm saying or you're just giving me feedback, but I was just curious, have you smelled Diaghilev? Because I was trying to think of my collection like dark, super robust, like non-mass appealing, and probably the most like different fragrance profile I have is probably Diaghilev, like as far as just a brash, unapologetically different type of scent. So I was curious if you had put your nose on that, because that is a scent profile I think everybody needs to get their nose on it. It's really different. I like it. Yes, just pass out as oh. Yeah, exactly. What do you think of never heard of it, Ephraim. Is it a painting of your crispy sock? It might be. I mean, I was so lazy with watercolor that I gave myself the challenge that if I want to paint something really good with watercolor, I need to start with something extremely boring. So as a college student, I just took a camera to my dirty clothes bin and I took a picture. But after a month went by of me trying to understand how to make fabric look soft and, like even little stuff like this looks like really stupid up close, right? Like it looks very flat. But then you zoom out, even like stuff like that little speck right there, right? And then you zoom out though, and then it looks hyper real. Like even just, I think what happened was I didn't think I was gonna make that cool of a painting because it was my first time ever with watercolor. And as I started continuing to paint, I was like, oh shoot, I'm actually like, I think I'm figuring some stuff out. I think I might actually try to really paint this laundry basket. And then, like 2 months later, 3 months later, after like 2-3 hours a night for 3 months, I finally was like, wow, I can't believe I did this. But yeah, it's my laundry from 36. So this would have been 18 years ago I did that painting. I was a kid. Hey, Crystal, good to see you. Lattafa Ram Silver, you already asked. Watching from Trinidad. What's poppin'? Well, the crazy thing is I used to be an artist, and then I taught art, and then I stopped and went into music and on one hand and finance. So that's my profession now. Is I'm in finance during the day. I engineer music for various artists around the world at night. But, it's crazy because now that I actually have a studio, I have all these art supplies, and now probably my kids are going to start taking it all from me because I just don't, I realize that painting and drawing and doing mixed media art takes a lot of time, and I'm not in a season of life to appreciate that. Painting will probably be something I do when I'm old and gray. I'll go back to it. But for now, I have too many other expressions that I feel like are giving me more joy. My husband thinks he's a rapper, so I told him to write those joints down. He cannot rap, but I support. Hey, man, listen, you better give your husband some encouragement. Because he might not be able to rap, but he is your man. So you better get behind him and help him rap, because then it's your fault. Damien, go night-night. Alicia likes rotten flesh. I believe it. The freshness I have is Dior Sport. See, that's confusing. Alicia, you're probably a very confusing person to understand, which actually might be a compliment, you know? Who wants to be figured out, right? But see, you like rotten flesh and funk and oud and darkness and incense and all that, but then you say you're fresh as Dior Sport, which is like one of the most freshest fragrances ever. So that's just confusing. I give up. I'm gonna just let you be you. It's not fresh to me. Mahir Legacy Black isn't. No, Mahir Legacy Black is fresh. Let me let me see my iPad real quick. Trying to let you know. Okay, so I'm curious. My iPad has 7%. Let's see if it'll let me look this up. Let's really define this. What is freshness in perfumery? The scent is light, clean, invigorating, often evoking images of nature and outdoors. So it doesn't necessarily have to evoke nature and outdoors, but often does. But as far as its attributes, the sense of being light, clean, and invigorating. Now, give me a test strip. I know Mahir Legacy Black like the back of my hand, so I know for a fact it's not light, but it's also not heavy either. There's no way. Like if this is all things vanilla, hookah, and incense, and this is the freshest interpretation of those. And it's even light to an extent. Yeah, this is a beautiful, this is a beautified, light, airy, crisp take on dark incense, woods, and vanilla. It's a dark profile showcased in the freshest way possible. Because even as it dries down, it's in the air a little bit heavy, but then as it quiets down, it's basically just a light incense, a heavy brush of vanilla, and some woods. Yeah, I think it's fresh. I wouldn't necessarily use fresh as the first word, but I think it is fresh. Ram Silver is nice, Aventus-like. Isn't Ram Silver an Ultramall clone? What you mean Aventus? Oh, sorry to hear that, Alicia. That's all you can hope for, is that your parents live a great life. That's really a blessing. I've lost friends as a teenager, and even before that I lost friends. I'll never forget, I had one of my best friends I played basketball with, you know, I used to play ball in high school and in college, and one of my closest friends ever, like I used to travel, we used to play travel ball together. I used to stay with him. He used to stay with me. We used to stay in hotels when we were traveling for tournaments and stuff. You know, one random weekend, he went off to play basketball at a Vegas tournament, a tournament in Vegas, and he collapsed. And he went to the hospital, didn't make it. And it was random. It was a spook incident, it had to do with like his brain or something. And the doctors to this day didn't really have the most detailed synopsis of it. He collapsed and died, and he had virtually completely scot-free health, you know. So life is short. That you know, and then like a year after that, my grandmother had a slip fall accident and had like some sort of aneurysm or something, and the doctors couldn't get there in time because she lived in a small town, and she had severe brain damage by the time she got to the hospital and couldn't basically complete vegetable state. So, you know, completely unexpected, and I was, you know, 16. So, life's short, man. The ability to live into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s is it's a real privilege. Like, I'm 36, and sometimes I just sit down and think to myself, like, wow, I made it to 36, which in the totality of things is still so young. It's crazy, man. You gotta appreciate life. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to even have a sucky life, because there are many people gone. You know what I'm saying? That don't even have an opportunity every day to wake up and try. You know what I'm saying? So there's been some serious deaths at a young age in my life where I really appreciated the opportunity for living. You know what I'm saying? So when our parents make it to an old age, you got to be grateful. What do you think about City Rhythm 2654? Might blind buy it. I don't know. I wouldn't blind buy, but City Rhythm makes some great. City Rhythms is like the cousin of Mancera, you know, affordable, entry-level, independent niche. Good stuff. Yeah, Zuda, we cologning over here. The spec was realism of a college student and the residue. Higher quality, long-lasting scent that smells like polo red. Sure. Fragrantica Polo Red. So I'm going to go with Armani Code Eau de Parfum. And Invictus Platinum for Eau de Parfum. I was in your stream last week and I bought Sahib Intense and Merveille. I received them both and loved them. Excellent. I'm so happy for you, man. I'm really glad you enjoyed them. Yeah, I can't believe L'Ombre de Merveille or whatever is a women's fragrance. They should have listed that as unisex. What do you think about Hawas Ice? I think it's the best Hawas. Do you have Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense? No, because I have so many fragrances that smell just like it with the same performance. But I always tell people, if you're interested in Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, for the love of God, please do not get the original. Please get Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, because it's the same fragrance, but way more longevity. Same price. Or you can get Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever, which is not the same scent, but it's a really nice grapefruit, vetiver, invigorating, bright, happy, classy, all-around Swiss Army knife, everyday upscale casual wear. Ever smelled Tiziano Terenzi Nero? I have not. I have not put my nose to that yet. Hey, I'm sampling Maison Alhambra Kismet Moscow, a clone of Vodka on the Rocks from By Killian. Do you know of any other clones of that fragrance? That one's the best one I've heard of right now. Vodka on the Rocks is not a very popular fragrance, so a lot of houses haven't really cared to clone it. Maison Alhambra's, though, is I think 90% close. I'm not sure on the longevity, but I'm sure Fragrantica has plenty of votes on it since it's the only rendition of Vodka on the Rocks. You can find, like, you know, a Sensual Obsessions, a Dua, an Alexandria version, but I think they're all going to be the same. The Maison Alhambra Kismet version is the most talked about out of all of the ones I've heard of. Why don't you get into the art of perfume making? Because it's expensive, it requires a lot of time, and I do have the money, but I don't have the time. Yeah, I have a perfumer that lives down the street from me, and I have several perfumer friends that are in that space. And I know from hearing them talk about perfumery that I do not have the time and energy to do what I want. Now, I am a consult for a lot of perfumers. Like, I have a handful of perfumers that consult me for ideas, and I do input that way, but perfumery is not something I'm interested in right now. I'm thinking about getting my dad a masculine fragrance that's fresh. Any tips? I have a $200 budget. I don't think you need $200 in 2025 for a good fragrance for your pops. Lalique White is an absolute staple in timeless masculinity. It's fresh. It has all the best qualities of masculinity. It's green. It's citrus. It's slight peppery. It's got vetiver. It's got amber. It's got tamarind spice. It literally smells white, but it's probably one of the most charactered signature fresh scents. That's the hard part about fresh scents for men, is they're rarely signature. This is, nothing smells like this except for Parfums de Marly Galloway. So if you want to spend about $200 or $150, depending on where you shop, you can get Parfums de Marly Galloway, which would be a slight upgrade from this. But if you just want to give your dad a great fragrance, you can give him this for about $25-30. So that or Galloway would be like, he would absolutely love you. No, it's not heavy. It's smoky, sexy, dark. No, not light on my skin. Fair enough. Everyone smells like my Amir Celestial. Say that smells bad. I'd be curious to know how old the individuals are that smell that on you, and if they are the same sex or opposite sex. Jean-Paul Lamal for your dad. Okay. Depends on how old his dad is. If his dad's young, okay. But if he's older, if I was picking a Jean-Paul Gaultier, I would go Lamal Elixir kind of every day of the week. What is the best dupe in your opinion? So many. Some of the highlights from 2025 in the dupe category is Lattafa Kingdom, Supreme Loam Extreme, Zara Man, FOMO Fragheads Asylum, Amir Celestial, and the White Musk Therapy clone, which is Glorious Oud Royal Blanc. I don't get Ultramall, but it's good. I mean, Ultramall is a fragrance made for young guys in Miami in the 90s or in the early 2000s. It's a tropical young man clubbing fragrance. Sorry about your friend, RIP to him. That happened to one of my friends. His heart stopped while playing basketball at 20. Yeah, man, this stuff happens. It's real out here. Travel ball sounds like basketball, but without the rules. I don't know where you got that from. Live your life, you live once, and I'm going for it. I used to live in the past, but you have to live in the moment. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, you don't choose to wake up and live in your past sometimes. Sometimes your past is like a good dream, like a good memory or a nightmare, and it's like it just follows you. And sometimes you got to learn how to get rid of things and let go of things that just show up in your life. And that's a lot easier said than done. Happy you went live today. Appreciate your dedication to the game. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. So once we reach our 30s, we can't lose weight faster than before. You can lose weight as fast as you want. You just need to stop eating. It's that simple. Stop eating so much. You don't even have to touch a weight. You don't even have to jump on a track or a treadmill. Just stop eating as much. I am 36 years old, and last year I lost 33 pounds in 9 weeks. So you can do anything you want in life. I really like Sahib Intense. Do you recommend any other great value scents like that? Absolutely. Lalique Equus is beautiful. Vetiver, grapefruit, amber, amazing everyday scent. Maturity, masculinity, ageless, 25 bucks. Awesome. This smells exactly like a Javoy fragrance I tried recently. It's beautiful. Definitely add that to your collection. It's an absolute staple. I really love what they did with Gucci Guilty Elixir. I'm not the biggest fan of designers these days, but I just think Gucci Guilty Elixir was one of the dopest releases last year. This was one of my recommendations over Summer Mink that smells just like Summer Mink, but more masculine, with better performance. Really like what they did. This actually shocked me. I'm not a big Gucci fan, but I'm so glad that I'm not proud enough to not step foot in a Sephora or an Ulta Beauty, even though my collection looks like how it looks, because stepping in there and still trying fragrances is what led me to that. Thoughts on Ganymede? I think Amir Celestial is better than Ganymede. I think Bois Imperial from Electimus is unnecessary. It's a copy of a copy, and it's not worth the price. I think Amir Celestial does the job very good. It's better than Ganymede, and it's virtually the exact same fragrance as Imperium. I smelled, or sorry, Bois Imperial. I smelled Bois Imperial like 2 or 3 months ago. My friend has a bottle and brought it over, and I showed him Amir Celestial, and he was so upset that he even bought it. He sold it immediately. Have a blessed night or day. You as well, Nate. How's our moth? Our moth's good. Similar fragrance to AHS. Spell it out. What's your take on Bahara King? I haven't put my nose to it, Julian. Do you recommend any Ajmals? Not yet, but I will after this month. Thoughts on YSL EDP? It's a good fragrance. Light blue, okay. You're the best scent streamer, man. You know your stuff. You articulate yourself very well, and you take your time going through everyone's messages. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Lalique is a great underrated house. I agree. I think it's one of the most underrated designer houses. Most masculine I've seen, Luigi Men. I don't know that fragrance at all, Sputnik. Why are fragrances gender specific? Can a woman use a man's perfume? Any gender can use, a man can wear a woman's fragrance, a woman can wear a man's fragrance, because when it comes to the actual juice, the juice has no gender, but gender is very helpful in helping people navigate fragrances. It's just a category. The biggest issue I have with people in the conversation of gender is they start taking the identity conversation to a scent. So much so that they go on extremes. They either say that no scent is gendered or every scent is gendered, and it's like yes and no. Gender in fragrance is just a concept for helping us navigate notes and vibes. You don't have to look into it. You don't have to think that because you wear a women's fragrance, you're a woman. You don't have to think that deeply about it. Go into the women's section and smell fragrances if you want. Doesn't mean you're a woman, doesn't mean you're feminine. It just means that you like some fragrances on that side, and it doesn't speak to who you are as a person or what you have between your legs. But we don't need to start changing names. I mean, if I had to go into a Neiman Marcus and I had to now navigate all the women's fragrances because it doesn't say women's on it, I would not navigate fragrance. I would get very overwhelmed and I would leave. Nobody wants their fragrance searching experience to be hard, and it already is hard because there's so many options and you have so many people trying to sell you stuff. So I think they should keep it in place. And the other thing I was telling Kix about is people are disingenuinely labeling stuff genderless. Like of course everybody is fine calling their fragrances unisex because it sells more. But that's not really why people are fighting to have genderless fragrances. So the people selling the fragrances don't care about your philosophy on manhood and womanhood. They just are okay selling bottles. You could be a Satanist with values that promote selling bottles and they'll go on board with it. You know, it's just kind of convoluted right now, but you know, we take what we take and we navigate what we navigate. What about Tom Ford Noir Extreme? Very good, vanillic, spicy, sweet, balanced scent. Very good for date night, very good for nightlife, very good for cold weather. It's luxurious, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's edgy, and it's seductive, it's alluring, it's mysterious. Yes, a woman can use men's fragrances all the time. You can do whatever you want with fragrance. I just don't think we need to take it to the next level of having to call everything unisex. I don't think that that's helpful at all. We can just tell people that, hey, there's going to be unisex and even feminine scents that you might like as a man and vice versa. Go ahead and shop wherever you shop. But I don't think we need to change the labels actually are very helpful. We can look past the labels and get where we want to get, but still use the labels to help navigate certain scent profiles. That's a helpful thing. Is there a dupe that smells similar to Sauvage Elixir? Hundreds. Just go on YouTube and type Sauvage Elixir clone. The most popular one is Lattafa's Assad, but it's a twist. What about Azzaro Wanted by Night? Wanted by Night and the Most Wanted Parfums are really nice. On a scale of 1 to 10, how similar is Club de Nuit Iconic to Bleu de Chanel? 1 to 1. And no, it does not need to macerate. There's Bleu de Chanel. Iconic is somewhere down here. 1 to 1. Dang, you got a lot of cologne. Yes, I do. Late Night Live. What's up, Christine? Good to see you. Any dupes for LV Meteor? Yeah, Matiere by Jean Lowe is good for that. Yeah, we're at enough likes right now in terms of balance. YouTube will start throwing tons of people in here constantly. But click the 3 dots here or here if you haven't. And when you click the 3 dots, hit like. And that'll run the likes up and continue to let YouTube send them. But there's 42 people in here with 30 likes, so we've already hit the threshold where YouTube will start pouring more people in. Is Chanel Allure Sport Edition Blanc, do you know a frag similar to it with more affordable price range? Yes. If you go to Yaman Layle's website, YOM space and space Layle, LAYLE, they have a very good rendition of Chanel Allure Sport. I think it's $40 for 100 ml. And I even reviewed it on my channel if you want to see a more in-depth, but that's a very good rendition. What are your top 3 EDPs under 30? I don't have a top 3, but just naming some off the top of my head for EDPs under 30. Bentley for Men Black Edition is an EDP. Bentley for Men OG is an EDP. Lalique Equus is an EDP for $25. Versace Eros EDP is about $35, $40 for an EDP. That's a really nice scent. Vintage Green 78 from Banana Republic's an EDP, very nice. Ferragamo Bright Leather is an EDP for $25, very nice. Mont Blanc Presence is an EDP for $15, $20. Halloween Man Shot is about $35 as an EDP, very nice, sexy Lamal Elixir style. And then there's just a buttload of clones under me that are all under 35 bucks. Gary's Den, Dior Homme Parfum, FOMO Fragheads Asylum, which is Roja's Elysium. Off Non-Supremacy in Heaven is better than Creed's version of Silver Mountain Water today. Club de Nuit Milestone is better than actual today's formulation of Millesime Imperial. Iconic is on par with Bleu de Chanel 1-to-1. Club de Nuit Intense for Women is Tom Ford Noir de Noir, fairly 1-to-1, maybe 90 to 95%. Oud Satin from Ministry of Oud is close enough 1-to-1 to Oud Satin Mood from Maison Francis Kirkjohn. Those are all EDPs. I mean, you have a ton of great options. I have Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP. Unfortunately, it doesn't last long. What can I do to make it last longer? Get unscented lotion and put it on before you put on the fragrance. Or you can use like Molecule 1, or a different rendition of Molecule 1 would be something like Banana Republic's 90 Pure White. You could put that under it as well. What's the best EDP for a date night at a swanky bar or something dark and sexy? $40 Ombre Noir. This is really smooth tobacco, cognac, cinnamon, myrrh and frankincense, papyrus, bergamot, and mint. Really good, sexy, sexy fragrance for a man. Halloween Man Shot is a Lamal Elixir without the tobacco. So it's got the vanilla, the cinnamon, the spices. It's dark, but it's fresh. Very seductive scent. My wife will literally lick that off of me. Supreme L'Homme Extreme, or L'Homme Ideal Extreme from Guerlain, is cherry almond champagne. That's a nice, elegant, light scent that still has some carry on it. $20 on Amazon. Really nice buy for a sexy date night. Cassius, which is a great version of Parfums de Marly Carlisle, which is kind of a savory apple pie leaning kind of sweet. Maison Alhambra Afro Leather is a beautiful 1-to-1 rendition of Memo Paris's African Leather. You can get that for $20 on Amazon. That is similar to Carlisle, but more savory and tangy. Kind of mimics a Sauvage style play on sweet and spicy, but in the apple pie vein. I call it expensive tiger piss, but nobody likes when I do that. Even Black Orchid. Women are kind of on the fence about Black Orchid on a man. It just depends on what kind of woman you're dealing with, but I get a lot of play off that. Cacao, patchouli, one of the best cacao and patchouli combos out there. It has a chocolate cakey vibe with a note of Black Orchid. Zara Man makes an excellent clone of Black Orchid that's a little bit fresher, so it's a little less purple flowery. Those are all sexy bangers. I mean, we could go to niche if you want, but, you know, just staying in that cheap price point, there are a lot of great options there for you. Do you purchase online? If so, where? I do sometimes. Max Aroma, Joma Shop, Fragrance by CA. If you Google a fragrance nowadays, you'll find the cheapest fragrance. You can only get it cheaper going offshore or going to Facebook groups or trading with friends in the community. Let's see. What do you think about Mont Blanc Legend Spirit? A little bit synthetic, a little bit sharp, but one of the most versatile white fragrances I'm aware of. I honestly think that if you like Mont Blanc Legend Spirit but want something a little less synthetic but still everyday wear for masculine men over 25, it could go all the way up to 60. I mean, 25 and up. is going to be Lalique White, 25, 30 bucks. It is more natural of a scent profile than Legend, but it's close to Legend, but it's better and more signature than Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. What do you question? What do you think about Bahar Cologne? Barara Cologne. Never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it, but I haven't smelled it. What is the Jean Low scent you just recommended? Matiere. Matiere. I actually just sent Kix that bottle, I believe. Let's see. Have you smelled Prada L'Homme and Prada L'Homme Intense? I smelled the L'Homme, but want to know how it compares to the Intense. Prada L'Homme Intense is just like Prada L'Homme DNA-wise. It's just got more longevity by about 2 to 3 hours. I always recommend Prada L'Homme Intense because Prada L'Homme smells incredible, but the performance is absolutely terrible. How close is French Avenue Liquid Brune to Altair? Maybe 85%, but it doesn't matter if it's not the closest one-to-one rendition of Altair because a lot of people buy it. It has amazing longevity, and even though it's not the most one-to-one scent, it's a great scent. I don't carry it. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm going to give you the political answer. An insane amount of people. Liquid Brune might be top 5 most sold clone of 2024, and for really good reason. Liquid Brune to Altair is as close as Assad is to Sauvage Elixir. Assad is about 85% with a twist. Liquid Brune is about 85% with a twist, but they're both still widely purchased because they smell amazing and they last forever. 10 plus hours of longevity. Do you have Paco Rabanne Invictus? Invictus isn't really my style, but it's a good fragrance. What are your thoughts on Mancera Amberful and Vetiver Sensual? You know my answer to that. I think anybody stepping into Mancera who hasn't purchased a Mancera fragrance before, the safest fragrance you can buy is Amberful. It is the most versatile. It is the lightest on the skin while still giving you 8+ hours of performance. It's one of the most beautiful commercial style ambers. And Vetiver Sensual to me is the 30 and up special. If you're a man above 30 years old, it's a very happy, bright, invigorating citrus basket of sunshine with a lot of good earthy vetiver under it to make you feel masculine. My traps look huge on camera today. That's ridiculous. What's the best licorice scent? Probably Black Liqueur by Tom Ford or Nasamato's Black Afghano. Really, I just buy it online. I mean, you can, but I mean, a guy like me just knows too many people to have to buy online all the time. What do you think about Eau de Parisi Mega Mare? I don't like it. I don't like it. There's something very strangely animalic about a lot of Eau de Parisi scents. They're very high-end and they're very good, but they kind of have a Bortnikov level thick juice that kind of doesn't dry down the best to me. I'm not appreciating Eau de Parisi's dry downs right now, but I do have a lot of decants that I'm running through right now. This is all stuff I've yet to do episodes on. We've got probably like 20 in there. All these. We've got a lot of stuff from Ex Nihilo to go through. A 30 bag for women's, a bunch of discovery sets. We still got to touch through Etat Leb d'Orange, Malin and Goats, some Zhirjoff. There's just a lot we have to go through right now. I'm playing a game of catch up. But the problem is I'm living in the future because I have like 200 fragrances I need to review for you guys, but I'm already like 30 or 40 episodes in the queue. So I have 40 episodes waiting to drop for you guys. And I drop episodes every day. Like I have so many reviews at this point loaded up in YouTube that you guys will notice some days I drop 2 episodes because I'm trying to just give you guys as much as possible, but I do need to pace myself because I was telling Kix this, I post more than the highest poster on fragrance right now, which is Jensense, and I outpost him by double right now. Just purchased Blue de Chanel. Any good? Yes. In my opinion, designers are mostly fougères and some gourmands. I don't know how you feel that way, but that's okay. It's an irrelevant stat. Have you checked out John Varvatos Artisan Pure? Beautiful scent. Doesn't last long at all, but it's a beautiful scent. What's your review on Off Non Modest Un? I surprisingly have not smelled that. Have you smelled 9 p.m.? Of course I have. Thoughts on Blockade? Blockade's cool. I don't think there's a single Mind Games fragrance that's worth the money today. And you guys really don't have to worry about that because with Mind Games, I've probably smelled about 10 fragrances from Mind Games at this point. French Defense has already been cloned beautifully. So my guess is that by December, we'll have at least 3 or 4 more fragrances from Mind Games cloned, and you won't need to pay the $500 retail. The French Defense clone is really nice. Next, they'll start going for things like Grandmaster and Blockade and Jadoub and Mentor. I think I said that. Double Attack. What other Alhambras do you recommend? Maison Alhambra is really 50-50. I don't carry a ton of them, but some go-tos for me is definitely Cassius, which is a clone of PDM Carlisle. Afro Leather, which is a clone of African Leather from Memo Paris. Woody Oud, which is Oud Wood Tom Ford. Outside of that, all my other Maison Alhambras I gave away for the community. Best perfume. I've never smelled the Off and On to comment. Me either. Sauvage EDT. In 2025, Sauvage EDT is useless to me. If you're a man, this is the way I categorize it. If you're 30 and up, get Sauvage Elixir. If you're 30 and down, get the EDP of Sauvage or the Parfum. The Parfum's a little rounder and a little more peppery. The EDP is a little less peppery, a little more sweet and fresh, but still got the spicy sweet combo. There's not a lot of nuance between EDP and Parfum, but if you're a younger guy, I think going for the fresher DNA profile with less spices is probably a good thing. So yeah, I think even 25 and down, I would say Sauvage EDP or Parfum, ignore the EDT. And if you're 25 and up, go Sauvage Elixir. And that's specifically if we're talking about Sauvage. Do you like Ganymede? Love the profile, but I think they overdid the metallics and mineralics on Ganymede. So I prefer Amir Celestial, which is right here. Amir Celestial just ramped up the powdery violet leaf, which I think makes the fragrance more commercial. I think Ganymede has to be commercial because they're doing a lot with that fragrance. They really, you know, for those who don't know, Ganymede is a mineralic, fresh cut, clean suede violet leaf fragrance. But in Ganymede, they ramp up the mineralic, so it's just got this very metallic rock, exotic rock, earthy type of feel, and it's got insane projection and longevity. So it just radiates off this kind of river rock smell that women find very off-putting. So on Celestial, the violet leaf gets ramped up. Violet leaf is kind of like the little brother of Iris, so it's slightly sweet, a little less powdery than Iris, but still powdery. It was a necessary twist. What got you into fragrances? I've been wearing fragrances for like 25 years. At some point, someone showed me a fragrance when I was like 11 years old, and I had the same 5 fragrances for almost 20 years. I didn't really get into collecting until about 5 years ago. What's your favorite fragrance, both men and women? Oh, that's to Christine. May I ask why it's irrelevant? Well, because it's like, if I'm just thinking off the top of my mind, if I go into a Sephora, I'm going to find blues, I'm going to find fougères, I'm going to find date night exotics, I'm going to find fougère date night hybrids, I'm going to find green scents, I'm going to find aquatics, I'm going to find metallics, and that's just off the top of my head. You're going to find powdery florals. That's already like 7 different categories that aren't gourmand or the other one that you mentioned. So I just think wherever you're shopping might have a limited selection, but any designer, retail house, Sephora, Ulta Beauty, anything, you can pretty much get any profile under the sun that's not experimental. You have plenty of options today in retail, and that's in person. Online, it's unlimited, but even in person, you're not limited to too many categories retail. Yo, I was literally wrapping up live when I saw your live notification pop up. What up, Gator? Gator, you need to call me, man. I don't care what you say. I need to rob you for 15 minutes. We need to do a co-review. I'm sick of you dodging. Thoughts on Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Was considering blind buying it. Is it worth it? Absolutely. It is a Dior Homme Intense style that's spicier and has whiskey and leather and might have cacao even. It's just a beautiful, sexy, seductive scent. It's velvety. It cuts through. I mean, Givenchy's known for classy gentleman scents and romantic scents, and sometimes they put both in a fragrance. And Gentleman Reserve Privé is both classy and sexy. What's the Mind Games French Defense clone? Just YouTube it. I forget the name of it, but it just came out either top of the year or end of last year, and it's spot on. So you can just, there's not any other clones out, so the first time you search it on YouTube, you'll find it. Yamin Lail did a pretty good job of cloning Mind Games French Defense. Well, there's a second one. Is Fragrance X legit? It is, but it might not always have the lowest price. What up, Junior? For those who are new to fragrances, what are the differences between EDP, EDT, and okay, so generally speaking, the hierarchy goes eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum, and then that's where it gets convoluted and goes, you know, absolute, intense, extreme, extrait, elixir, all of those, right? Absolute. And all of that means virtually nothing. It's just marketing. Generally speaking, though, from eau de cologne forward, you're supposed to just have a higher concentration of oil. And unfortunately, what fragrance companies will do to try and incentivize you to move into the eau de parfum or the extrait or the absolute or the intense is simply they'll start taking notes out and putting notes in or simplifying the DNA, which is sucky because generally as you move up in concentration, that should be the only thing that is changing is you're getting a denser oil concentration. So if it's 15% oil, you know, 85% alcohol, the concentration should just go 15, 20, 25, 30, 45. I've seen it as high as like 70 or 80% concentration, all the way to the point of pure oil. But unfortunately, they start changing the DNA while they do it. So some fragrances, like for instance, if you move from Bleu de Chanel eau de toilette to eau de parfum, it's just a concentration increase, and you could trust that you're virtually smelling the same scent. It might have some nuance with its concentration intensity changing because there's a top, middle, and bottom, and the structure of that changes to the point where it can actually slightly smell different, but you're not going to get a completely different smell. Whereas if you compare a fragrance like Fahrenheit eau de toilette to Fahrenheit Le Parfum from Dior, you get a completely different fragrance. One is petrol, one is more sweet, and it's like, that's why it's confusing, because for marketing purposes, they're not only changing the oil, but they're also changing the raw materials going into the oil. So you don't just get an intensity increase, you get a complete change of DNA to some extent. And that's, so basically the point is generally speaking, as you move up, the fragrance should get stronger, richer, smoother, whatever. But that's not always true. And you have to put your nose to it to be able to figure out which one you like at the end of the day. Because, for instance, when I tell people to get Versace Eros EDT, people get mad at me because, oh, the eau de parfum is more long lasting. Oh, the parfum is the best smelling one. Well, the reality is just the concentration changes. So people assume that they have better performance, but it's like Eros EDT has 10 hours of performance. Are you really going to spend an extra $25, $30 to get eau de parfum or parfum to just get an extra hour or two of longevity? Who needs more than 10 hours of a fragrance? I always tell people this. Every fragrance has infinite longevity because the moment it leaves, you could spray it again. I could make Versace Eros EDT last 7 days if I wanted because I would just spray it again. I think we get too wrapped up in longevity. Is the scent good? Yes. Buy it, wear it. Have you tried Gritty Rebellion? I have not. Have you tried Dolce & Gabbana Pineapple? I have not. Favorite cologne? I don't have one. Is Creed worth the price in your opinion? No. Today, the only original formulations of Creed fragrances is Bois de Portugal and Royal Oud. Everything else has been reformulated more times than I can count. To the point now where Club de Nuit's entire fragrance line beats out the scent profile. And the whole Club de Nuit line smells more like the original formulations of Creed than Creed's formulations today. Oh my gosh, I almost knocked that over. That was crazy. So I don't think there's a single Creed fragrance worth retail. And I love Creed. I love Creed. Absolutely love it. You know, I carry a lot of their profiles. I mean, I have a Creed fragrance right there. That's just for collection purposes. I don't think it's worth buying. And then I have a lot of the profiles, you know, Millesime Imperial, Royal Oud, Bois de Portugal, Virgin Island Water, Silver Mountain Water, Green Irish Tweed, Absolute Aventus, all of that. I got you. Was working on a decant package for you today. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much in advance. I got to send you a pack, Gator. I got to get you that whole top shelf decanted out. I will. Don't let me forget that. I will get that out to you. Love from India. Appreciate you, Arian. Take care, brother. Have you tried Bulgari Wood Neroli? I have. It's an amazing scent. What's that fragrance? I don't know the name, but it's very small bottle. The cap's bigger than it. Small bottle, cap's bigger than it. Versace Eros Dreamer. What is the best cologne? Whichever you say it is. What about Versace Pour Homme? In 2025, Versace Pour Homme is not worth the price. There are tons of fragrances in the $30, $40 price point that absolutely annihilate it. Do you have Off Non Supremacy Collector's Edition? I do. It's right here. You know I have it. Sickly good fragrance, high compliment factor, somewhere in between Absolute Aventus and Nishane's Hachivat. Very good scent. I'm doing good, Nitesh. Please tell me about Versace Pour Homme. By the way, guys, if you're new here, I drop 2 to 4 videos every single day. Community panels, collaborations, game shows, everything on fragrance. I even shoot short films on fragrance now. So I would love it if you could subscribe. Give me a week to show you what I do. And give me a chance to earn the sub. It's free. Please show the bottle of Club de Nuit. I won't show it, but I'll show it. I'm not going to be a dick today. Bro, how's Blue Noir EDP? Blue Noir. Who is that? Oh, Franciso Rodriguez. It's an amazing fragrance. It's basically Dior Homme Intense and Bleu de Chanel had a baby, and the baby was beautiful. Are you black or white? I'm both, and I'm half Polish. We're smelling cologne in here sometimes. Thoughts on Issey Miyake fragrance line? The perfumer who did Issey Miyake did most of the Louis Vuitton line, LV. So if you're into L'Immensité, Pacific Chill, Imagination, all of those fragrances, Issey Miyake's fragrances that are on the lighter side imitate and are remixes of a lot of those profiles. Are dupes worth it? Absolutely. Which is the best one? That's up to you. Isn't the Azzaro Wanted by Night discontinued? Where can I find it? Wanted by Night discontinued? There's no way. Thank you, Michael. Is Allure Pure Sports something named that Jeremy Love? I don't know what that. Oh, I made it to the bottom. Hey, I made it to the bottom, dude. We can sign off early today. Okay, since we made it to the bottom of chat, here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to take a piss. Any last minute questions that you have, please throw them in the chat. I'll come back and answer them for you. And we'll get out of here. So give me 1 minute, type your questions out, and yeah, got to go pee. Okay, guys, I'm back. Why is there still 42 people in here? Thanks for the stream, brother. You're the man. Also, reminder, everybody subscribe. Thank you, Rambo. I appreciate it. Thoughts on Boss Bottled Absolute? It's really nice. Boss Bottled The Scent Magnetic, Boss Bottled Elixir, Boss Bottled Absolute. Very good fragrances. What's the scent profile of the replica bottle behind you? Explain it to a newbie. I don't carry replica. I mean, I have a replica discovery set that has about 10 fragrances, but I don't own a single replica fragrance, and I never will. Can you tell me top 10 Mancera fragrances that are worth buying? In no particular order. Aqua Wood, Amberful, Lemon Oud Mint, Vetiver Sensual, Instant Crush, Cedrat Boisé Intense, Pearl, Jardin Exclusive, French Riviera, Aqua Wind, a lot of people would say red tobacco, but I'm just not a fan. I think if you like red tobacco, you get Prada Luna Rosa Le Parfum or Ambar Dominicana from Day 3, or Javoy's Ombre Premier. But yeah, I mean, that should be close to 10. What's your summer vibe this year? It's always summer in Arizona. I've been running through so many different fragrances for summer, to be honest. Um, It's been weird. I've been rocking a lot of cold weather scents in the heat, but because it's hot in Arizona all the time, but I'm indoors in colder weather. So I treat my indoor cold weather like it's fall winter. So I've been messing around. I've been messing around with some scents I shouldn't really be wearing in Arizona because I'm indoors, but that's just me. I can make anything work, man. Even if I have a heavy scent, I'll just spray light or I'll combo it. Like I don't give a rat's left testicle what like I we'll talk about this on a future podcast, but everybody doesn't wear fragrances for the same reasons. For some people, fragrance is like a personal expression. It's all about them. It's very internal. It can be therapeutic. It can be a way of being at peace. It can be a way of feeling like you're expressing your character without having to speak. It's a very personal experience and a therapeutic experience. Some people wear fragrances to be mindful of other people and to complement a space. Sometimes people wear fragrances for somebody specific that they're going to be around. Might be to impress them, might be to uplift them. And what I'm learning about fragrances is that nobody wears fragrances for the same reasons. Maybe you like self-expressing and you like vibes. Maybe you only wear fragrance for yourself and you could care less what anybody thinks and it's completely self-expression. Maybe you're a mix of all three. It all depends on your lifestyle and your personality, but that impacts the fragrances that you choose and the decisions that you make. And so sometimes if somebody smells a fragrance on you and they don't like it, you could care less because you're not looking for feedback. You're wearing it to smell yourself. I don't think it's always a crime to not be mindful of where you are and who you're around because the reality is you have to be around people and you have to be at places. Doesn't mean you're trying to be around people. It just means like, hey, I have to buy a coffee this morning. So I have to go in this coffee shop and there's going to be people in there. Am I going to be off-putting to some people? Maybe, but I could care less. You know, that could be the scenario. But every reason I think is valid, but everybody rocks fragrances for a variety of different reasons. And that impacts how we pick our fragrances and stuff. And it's all cool. It's all dope. I find for myself, it's kind of a mixed bag of everything. Sometimes I could care less what the weather is and what you think. Sometimes I'm wearing something for my wife. Sometimes I'm wearing something for the environment I'm going into. Sometimes I'm trying to show out and turn heads. Sometimes I'm just trying to be put at ease and meditate with a fragrance. Sometimes I'm trying to find peace with a fragrance. Sometimes I'm trying to feel invigorated and confident with a fragrance. I just love all of it. I'm open to any experience in fragrance. My fragrance experience isn't black and white right now. I'm open to anything that it has to offer. I saw you in the replica store yesterday. That's hilarious. Favorite Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male elixir. Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male versus Sauvage EDT for a 17-year-old. Le Male. Hey, brother, what's the best way to find the most popular scents from a brand? Any database that shows clear stats? Crazy question. That's an unnecessary question right there. The best way to find the most popular scents is to go inside of an Ulta, a Sephora, a Ross, a TJ Maxx, a Burlington, a Nordstrom Rack, and a Marshalls. Look at the brands that are in all of those stores, and that is the most popular stuff out. Real versus fake colognes. Are there fake cologne? Are the fake fragrances made? Ask that question in a different way, Eric. It's really confusing. Have you ever owned a bottle? No, I haven't. I have not, Pablo. If you want to send me a decant of it, I'd love to review it and shout you out. Have you ever got a negative reaction with Club de Nuit Intense DNA overspraying? No, I have not. I wasn't wearing Club de Nuit Intense Man for long before I upgraded to Prosciutto and even some other designer DNAs like Sycamore and stuff. But um, Club de Nuit, I really don't care which kind you have. It always gets compliments, but like for me, even if I have an Aventus DNA, I'm gonna wear it like an Aventus cologne. So I think like if you pack on Club de Nuit like 4 to 6 sprays, it starts feeling like Absolute Aventus. If you only use 2 sprays or maybe 3 sprays max, it starts to feel on the dry down more like Aventus cologne. And I like how easier on the environment Aventus cologne is than original. But I play with that too because I like Absolute as well, and I love Hasavat. So the only one I don't really care for is Eros Energy. I'm 36, man, so I like a certain amount of nuts on my fragrance, you know. So I like Hasavat if I want to boss out. I like Absolute if I'm going out. Yeah. One more question. Best Leighton dupe. Lalique White and Black. This is a designer house. This isn't a dupe, but it is cloning Parfum de Marly Leighton. I actually prefer this over Leighton. It's only 25 bucks, 100 ml. Lalique White and Black. It is a fresher take on Leighton, but it's like 90% close. It's amazing. Sick wear. It's awesome. Doesn't have all that medicinal stuff people say Leighton has. Love this stream, man. New subscriber. Thank you, brother. Sir, what's your favorite fragrance under 20? Are you saying for under $20 or for a 20-year-old? Should I get Baby Cat YSL or is it a pass? Baby Cat's a great fragrance, but it's not for everybody. You got to put your nose to it before you buy it. You could get Rafficat, you know, the clone, but it isn't one-to-one. It's close, though. What would you wear at a golf course? Vetiver Sensual Mancera or Lin Sumi? Please, I really want to see the Green Creed. I wish to buy it. I'm going to leave and study after seeing this. Love your work. This is just original vetiver, but I wouldn't recommend you buy it, to be honest. I'm a vetiver lover, so I'm out to get every vetiver fragrance under the sun, but I think their new formulations of original vetiver are absolutely trash. What's up, Scott? Hey, thanks again for those decants, buddy. I'm going through them right now. I'm really having a good time with them. Can I send you my Cuban tobacco? Absolutely. Lachlan, look in any description of any of my videos and you'll see my private mailbox info. Feel free to send it to my private box, man. Just let me know it's you that sent it so I can shout you out. Thank you for answering my question. Just subscribe. If I could recommend something for you, Memoir of a Perfume Collector. That sounds a lot like Memoir of a Trespasser. Tales from Zanzibar. Okay, I'll look it up. Do you like blue? Blue what? How are counterfeit fragrances produced? Oh my gosh, there's so many different ways a counterfeit fragrance is made. It actually hurts my brain. And I don't even know if counterfeit is the word because it's like a spectrum of counterfeit. Like you can counterfeit an idea, you can counterfeit a bottle, you can counterfeit a juice, you can remix a juice, you could twist a juice. I mean, here's the thing, guys. Everybody clones each other. Niche fragrance houses clone each other. Designer houses clone each other. They clone up and down. We talk about clones and dupes like they're in their own category. And then we pass up on fragrances like Mont Blanc Explorer. And even this Summer Mink that came out by Drake is just such a copy of a copy of a copy. Eros Energy is a copy of a copy of a copy. And these are designers. You look at a fragrance like Imperium by Electimus or Boadicea, the Victorious. Their fragrances $500 to $1,500, it seems like. And I have some of them. But everyone's cloning each other. I don't know what the big deal is. People bite each other's ideas. Just because you're a niche house doesn't mean you're more authentic. Bleu de Chanel's cool. Is it me or Odyssey Ohm EDP by Armaf smells exactly like Dr. Pepper? Which color? Hey, what's a $50 summer fragrance you would recommend? Lalique White for summer for sure. Lalique Equus. Lalique Lin Sumi. Ferragamo Bright Leather. Banana Republic's Arctic Slate. Not just Slate, Arctic Slate. But I think that's actually discontinued. 50 bucks. Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, FOMO Fragheads Asylum, Amir Celestial, Off Non-Supremacy in Heaven, Club de Nuit Iconic, Club de Nuit Sillage, Mahir Legacy Silver, Sahib Intense for Imagination. What do you think about Bois Imperial by Essential Parfums? It's a clone. Best Killian Angel Share clone. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere. It's like way down here. Take a screenshot with your phone. Amir Paris Corner, Fire Your Desire. 1-to-1 Angel Share. 3, 2, 1. That's the best 1-to-1 Angel Share I could show you. There's a lot of Angel Share clones out there. None of them beat this. The closest one I've seen is French Avenue Nero. It doesn't beat this. It's just close. You can get that for like 30 bucks. All right, let me get to the bottom so I can get to sleep. The Kingdom by Lattafa. What's good with that? Hype or no? No, Kingdom is awesome. Kingdom is spot on Lamal Elixir. If you want to get Lionheart from Armaf, it's Lamal Elixir with super ramped up mint. But if you want a true Lamal Elixir clone, Kingdom is phenomenal. I'm not explaining why I sell Y to a baby. The Professor of Fragrances. What up, Detroit? Good to see you, bro. I keep seeing Yusuf Bai. Do you know anything about his fragrance house? He's not really a fragrance house. He just is a perfumer that spots a lot of common DNAs and has a lot of raw materials, and he can make any fragrance you show him. What do you think about this rotation? You're really awesome. I like the collection. Thank you, Kane. I appreciate it, brother. Calming Sense, Wulong Cha, Montclair La Corday, Lalique Lin Sumi, Vintage Green 78. Anything with tea, anything that's super light and airy can be calming. Some people would say like Silver Mountain Water and Green Irish Tweed is calming, but not to me. Let's see. If you want something that no one else is wearing, get Lin Sumi. Lin Sumi is amazing. You guys know what I feel about that. What do you think of Valentino Born in Roma Uomo? It's good. It's light, it's sweet, it's versatile. Prada L'Homme Intense for work. Myself EDP for hotter days. Gucci Guilty Elixir for nights out. See, I would switch that. Hot days, I would go Gucci Guilty Elixir. Nights out, I would go YSL Myself and Oud Wood for Tom Ford Oud Wood for more suit and tie outings. I mean, it's pretty spot on, Stefano. Please do Tropical Scent Guava. It's an extrait and beautiful. Tales from Zanzibar. Okay. A great guava scent is Day 3's Escandalo. Really good guava scent. Do they allow fragrances to be sent to Australia, to America? You have to check with your local post office because they have to label it properly. So I don't know. I could send out to Australia if I wanted, but I would have to pay quite a premium to do that. Not a big fan of the Myself DNA. Yeah, I think YSL Myself is the worst fragrance in the lineup, but it's still a good fragrance. I'm not going to diss the fragrance. I think in order, I would go with L'Homme, La Nuit de l'Homme, Blue Electrique, Tuxedo, Baby Cat, YSLY, YSL Myself. Scandal's a good fragrance. Scandal's a good fragrance. It's not really my tea at my age. I think too many DNAs do it better, but Scandal is a great fragrance. Thanks for the answer. Check out Nero, but currently have Royal Blend. Yeah, Royal Blend Nero is the only other Angel Share similar that I would recommend, but it doesn't have the cognac note. That's why I prefer Fire Your Desire over it. Montclair Pour Homme. Yeah. Are you talking about Sunrise Pour Homme? Anyways, guys, if there's any questions that I didn't answer, please put them in the comment section below, and I will answer it within 12 hours. We're posting a lot of content right now. I'm about to hit my 700th video in less than a year, or in exactly a year. So, and I was just looking up the stats. I post more videos daily than Gent Sense, which is pretty crazy because I think he posts the most right now. So that's pretty insane. So the growth has been crazy. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you're finding value. I just did a panel discussion with 3 of my friends that we dropped this morning. So definitely check that out if you want to get into more of like just fun podcast material. Got the Memoirs of a Fragrance, got the game show coming. We're about to bring a bunch of ladies onto the channel to talk about, you know, a women's perspective on different fragrances. We might do 21 questions as a series with different ladies in fragrance. So I'm really looking forward to that because I just think it's great conversation, you know. Anyways, love you guys. Really appreciate your feedback and interaction. I'm going to go chill out and enjoy some quiet time before I get some sleep. And I really appreciate your guys' questions and stuff. You guys make the lives worth living. So y'all have a great rest of your night. And until next time, take care.